Welcome to my channel, Maryborn ND. And today we're going to talk about uh, the beginning of the fourth week, well, actually midweek, of the Three Rivers Challenge. And it's been an adventure. I really appreciate Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead for putting this together, for inviting everybody who wants to join, can join, make their own rules. My rule was basically to stay away from the grocery store as much as possible. I really didn't even give myself a budget because I was only going to go for dairy, and maybe if I ran out of eggs. And so far, the whole month of January, I got a half a gallon of milk. And today, my husband is picking up yogurt. And that's it. We have been living off of our pantries. And as Marysnest says, our four corners pantries, our refrigerator, our freezer, our dry goods pantry, and the storage. And so in the first week, I concentrated on cleaning out the refrigerator, getting as much of the holiday food out and used up and maybe recycled in some way to put it back in the freezer or whatever. And I did pretty good. I actually worked on that in the second week as well. And then toward the end of the second week, I delved into the messy freezer that was attached or is attached to my upstairs refrigerator. And I've been moving through that. Now, I still am working through both of those, but adding little bits here and there. I love to freeze dry broth. And in most of my recipes, I will use that freeze-dried broth. It's bone broth, chicken, and beef so far are the ones that I've used. I also used some ham in the pea soup that I made. So I ham broth, beef, and chicken so far. I also have turkey downstairs that I haven't used, but I am working through these. I don't really want to use them up because in the freeze-dried state, they are good for 20, 25 years. So I don't really want to use them up. And I've been going through some of my storage bins to see what needs to be rotated. Some things don't last a really, really long time. I've got some pasta that I need to work through. So this half of the week started with Saturday, and actually Friday we had leftover pea soup. So you won't see a video showing what I did on Friday. On Saturday, I thawed a chicken breast. Well, it's actually 2 to a pack, and that's too much food for my husband and I. So generally speaking, I'll use it for 3 meals, usually. Those 2 chicken breasts. Now, one was a really sizable one. I'll use that for 2 meals. And the other one was a good size one that I sliced in half and made lemon chicken with scalloped potatoes and glazed carrots. So you'll see that is the Saturday meal. On Sunday, we had leftovers again. I had made a lasagna in the second week. and that needed to be used up. So we had that for dinner on Sunday. On Monday, I had some chopped meat, beef, ground beef that I had reserved from a meal that I took a pound of ground beef. Half of it was made into meatballs, and half of it was made into spaghetti sauce as the base for spaghetti sauce. Well, no, not half, quarter. So then I reserved, so I had two that I browned, and I took half of that brown meat and set it aside. I took 2/4 of the meat and made meatballs. 1/4 of the meatballs I set aside, or 1/2 of the meatballs I set aside. The other half I made Swedish meatballs with. So the the meatballs were separated by Swedish meatballs, and then I added them to make spaghetti. Then the other half of the ground beef I fried up and took a portion of that and set it aside. And that portion that I set aside, I used in Monday's Sloppy Joe. So I really stretch my meat. There is just two of us. We don't need enormous amounts of meat. If we eat 2 to 3 ounces of meat at a meal, that really is a good amount for seniors. I will bump up our nutrition by adding bone broth, which is extremely important in our life for tissue strength and flexibility. So you'll see me add that to a lot of meals. So that was Monday. And then Tuesday, remember the chicken that was set aside? Well, that big breast, I took about a third of it, browned it, set it aside. You'll see me do that. And chopped up the rest of it. And last night, we had chicken curry and rice. I am not one for spicy foods. You will not see Mexican food in my channel. You'll not see Thai food. I'm just not one. I'm French. French people love creams and sauces and smooth and very tasty, but not that spicy. At least the French people that I grew up with. So, some people, like my sister, will disagree. She loves hot food. It's like, no. And then they'll say, well, it's really not that spicy. The word that, yeah, even if they say it's not that spicy, I know. No good for Mary. So I hope that you enjoy the coming videos that show the meals that I prepared in the first half of the 4th week. Can you imagine? Now, next week, my adult son is coming in from Boston, and I'm not sure how many videos I'll be putting out. He comes in next Tuesday and leaves on Sunday. So I will try to get some videos in. I've been really, really enjoying this. I'm going to continue doing the challenge through February because I've hardly just begun getting through some of the older foods. You'll see that when I use some of the tomato products, they're from 2022. And the broth, Well, and that's okay because the broth I said can be 20, 25 years. But you'll see that I made them in 21, I think. So some of it we made more recently. I go through chicken broth a lot faster than I do the other broths. Right now, I'm working through some ghee that I didn't realize that it was in getting ready to expire. So it's really important to go through your stock and make sure that you're rotating it, that you're making meals that will use up some of the older things, because it's really a shame to throw away any food. Um, I really feel bad when I throw away something that I've forgotten about and it got moldy in the back of the refrigerator or whatever. And I don't have animals, pigs or chickens or, it's like uh, if I don't eat it, it could go to compost. So, excuse me. Enjoy the coming videos. Please leave comments. Give me a thumbs up if you've appreciated it. And I'll see you in the next one.